Blog Talk Radio.
Peace in the Lamb is truly wonderful. Roll back. Roll back, everybody in the listening audience. That means greetings. You know, it really also means Ra Hub. The word Hub means love. And like the master teacher, Dr. Malachi York, or Nitia Therapy ATUN-RE, the sacred master, loves to say and has shown that AEO is the key of love. And this is the reason why we have survived to prevail in order to do the work, to, as he would say, build AEO. And we put the re in front of it, rebuild it, and do it the way we're supposed to, the way our ancestors did it, and even greater. Because he said, greater works indeed shall you do. When many would ask, okay, well, what is the purpose of AEO? And the master teacher, Dr. Malachi York, the master scientist, Dr. Malachi York, makes it very clear. The purpose of AEO is for survival. And the question then becomes, survive what? Well, there are many things that are taking place on the planet now that we as a beings and or people or species will have to be ready for. They keep talking about climatic changes, meaning the climate. And there's also, changes and or to the cosmetics of the planet Earth, meaning the land, the water, the mudslides, the entropy effect, global warming. They have all of these different things, earthquakes, tornadoes, volcano, Mother Nature doing what she do. Yet there's something that we who are AEO, you follow, and or OSOICE, right, original sacred order, inner circle empire of Anu, would love to bring to the communicator platform so that you all can be aware. And what it is that we're about to disclose right now, before we go into the gold book reading, is something that many of you may not be aware of, but you will be now. As pointed out to me and, proven to me by virtue of my own experience, by way of our brother, our beloved brother whose name is ATUN-RE, who is a son of ATUN-RE. He pointed out to me and shared with me the truth that, first of all, let me ask you all a question. For those of you in the listening audience who can bear witness to this, then you'll know. Many of us right now who are of the chosen, meaning the species, and all of you all are chosen, okay, could be experiencing suffocation. You follow, meaning shortness of breath. Meaning you may wake up in the night or in the shadow hour, 2, 3 in the morning, and you may find yourself having a very difficult time to breathe. I'm talking about even the most skilled breathers. You know what I mean? The beings who like to breathe, you know what I mean? The breath, you're starting to experience a shortness in breath. For those of you who can relate to this, let us explain to you why. The reason why that's in the place, as explained to me by our beloved brother ATUN-RE, who is the real Messiah. The reason why you all, including myself, is experiencing it is because the polarities are being reversed. And, this is something that ATUN-RE will be explaining at a later time. But I will say this. Many of us are being prepared for Gills. Let me say that again. Many of us are being prepared for Gills. When you say Gills, you're speaking about the very thing that allowed us to breathe inside of the amniotic sac. You see, the amniotic sac of the womb of our mother. Okay, because mother. You follow? Well, there was a reason why we was able to breathe, and that's because we had Gills, and we learned to adapt to the air. You see, when you say air, you're not defining any particular element, because if you look at the 99 elements, you don't see nothing that says air. So the question then becomes, okay, well, what is air? Let us check. If you do a research, you'll see that the main component, 79% of what you all and what these Western scientists are referring to as air is made up of what they refer to as nitrogen. If you run a search on the word nitrogen, you'll see that the word itself, beloved, is from the Latin, meaning etymology of the word nitrogen from the Latin word nitros, right, which comes from, they say, right, the Egyptian word matir. But they say NTR, meaning if you go to etymology.com and look up the word nitrogen, they admit and or confess that it comes from the Egyptian word matir, they say. So they are admitting that the seventh element, watch, is related to nitrogen, right? Now, is it a coincidence that they have something called nitroglycerin, which they admit is a black substance? Because, see, they're talking about the black ether, which is a later subject for a later time. What happens is, as pointed out to me by my brother, ATUN-RE, these beings, meaning malevolent, disagreeable beings, who are Ashtar command, these are not material, you know. But these beings, people say, why y'all talk about Ashtar every week? Because you got to know who your adversaries are. Because, yeah, you got the Draconians, you got beings from Zeta Reticuli, but the ones who hate us the most are the ones who really fear us the most, and that's Ashtar command. Well, in the Holy Tablets, again, we point it out every week until we get on one accord. Chapter 6, Tablet 10, verse 21, it says, and I quote, infested by Ashtar command. It was called Project Blue Rock, meaning back to planet Earth millions of years ago, it was called Project Blue Rock. Okay, but the infection took place in many, many, many ways. Like oxygen is an illegal element, which many of you may not understand that now and or agree, but you will. Because, see, they got a group called Air Supply. And there's a rock group. Well, I bore witness personally to a referred to as Jerry. Listen, while I was in California with the little brother, and Jerry Duke, right, is an Amorite with blonde hair and blue eyes. And she announces herself proudly as the devil's daughter. Well, I witnessed a confrontation between the little brother, ATUN-RE, and this being. And this being said, well, what are you all going to do when we remove the air? And the little brother stood his ground and said, well, he said, we don't give a damn about your air. Nigga, we grow gills, is what he said. You follow what I'm saying? Now, in the event that this happens, it's very important that you all start to remember, listen, go and get your AEO scrolls and get the first pamphlet. You follow? Not the revelations and all the stuff to make you feel, you know, mentally in tune, because that's good too, but get that original pamphlet and read it again for the first time and see what it says, that the purpose of AEO is to survive. You see? Because that is what it's coming to now, that we're going to have to survive some things that, you know what I mean? There's so many in cases that could occur, and you have to be ready. And that's why Pop said he studied the ants, where the little brother was given the order to study the bees, because we are the beehive. And listen, and in that we should behave as such. And meaning, our adversaries only get strength when they see us separated and or divided, thus the word Africa in the first place. Divided. Anything but Nuwapia. Anything but Nuwapia. Hold on one second, y'all. Hey, I'm on the phone. I'm right in the middle of a show. Okay? So, yeah. That's, listen, it's very important. Now, for those who are experiencing that, don't worry. You know what I mean? It's going to be all right. Before we get into the Gold Book reading and open up the line, I want to share with you all one more thing. There was a time not long ago, for those of us who can relate to experiences and or visions that are real, because like the master teacher, Dr. Malachi York says, meaning ATUN-RE, he says, your experiences with me, he says, are as real to me as they are to you. And don't doubt it, and don't let nobody put no seed of doubt in it either, man. So the truth of the matter is, I was, years ago, I think about 2000, 1999, there was an experience with the master. And he was telling me, just go ahead. It's going to be all right. And I saw diagrams of yellow and purple, and it was about being submerged in water. And I heard him say, trust me. And I went in there, and I can feel the water. How shall I say? reverberating, or bouncing off Gills. Now, I know this sounds crazy to a lot of y'all, but it's true for those who can relate. You know what I'm saying? Because, see, you never know what the Most High and or nature has planned. We were water beings from the jump. And don't forget that they themselves, right, meaning you have a group of beings, if you read your emerald tablets, you follow that? As pointed out to me by the brother ATUN-RE, which I didn't know nothing about the emerald tablets. But they speak about these beings called the hounds of hell. And these beings use a very, very divisive cloaking device, meaning they can cloak themselves in ways by which you won't know that they're there until they're there. But these beings, are Romulans, which are opposite of Vulcan, because we are Vulcan. You follow that? Meaning the most expressive, the most dynamic, the vocalists in all of the galactics. Well, there was a period of time when we did live underwater, and we did have underwater cities. Whether you call them today Atlantis, meaning at land, meaning a time came where we had to move from Atlantis and move back on land, and or whether you refer to as the cities of Numeria, you see, because you see the word Merin is there, having to do with water, and let me explain. A lot of these things are related to the truth and or the fact that we ourselves have a 25,000-year history that need to be renewed, right? Where there are certain incidents and or events that were never recorded. In order for something to be recorded, they have to first be recorded. Meaning somebody has to record it first, and then somebody has to record it in order to do it again. Well, there are many things that many of us are not aware of, but just because you're not aware of doesn't mean it didn't take place. And it's not about convincing. See, and right now, knowledge, right? It's not about convincing people of anything. That's why he says in the Sacred Records of ATUN-RE, the Black Book, that this is not a, learning tool, but a remembering tool. So with that being said, right, we'd like to open up the floor. Beloved brother, Aharoon, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Rahul back.
Rahul back, brother. How you doing?
I'm blessed. I thank you for asking. How's your family?
Oh, the family's doing well. Thank you. Thank you.
You're very welcome. Do you have a gold book reading for us before we open up the chat room?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. I'd like to say real quick
not
to
the chat room, but open up the line for callers.
Yes. I was saying. I just want to say the call is 706-351. We'll be opening up the line soon. We see your hand up, and we'll be opening up the line soon, but not yet. Would you like me to start?
Okay, beloved. Please bless us.
For those who want to read along, we're going to be reading from Supplication 45 of the Gold Book called The True Spark. Begin all prayers and thinking as a part of the El Karoom, the All. Supplication 45, The True Spark. It has echoed through the universes. It is always darkest before the dawn. But let it be known that dawn will eventually come. O guardians who put the spark of life in the body to become the soul that reflects to the brain that makes it possible for all creatures to see, I ask you to open the doors of my closed mind so that your black light may enter into my heart and fill it with your joyous presence. O guardians who have the power and the spark that turns the engines that lights the worlds, I ask you in the most humble of manners to accept from your humble child my pleas to be with you in your humble abode. O guardians who like a flash brought forth all life, kindle from the tip on my toe to the highest grain of hair upon my head, obedience and discipline and reverence to you alone. O guardians who like a bolt of lightning strike down upon me so that I might learn to fear and walk amongst those who are fearing. You are the ray that peaks across the horizon as the sun begins to appear, that you rise, so that it may bring nourishment to all the vegetation and living things upon the planet Earth. O guardians who shines even in the shadows, I am in the shadow of ignorance. Please shine your black light upon me and make me into Nuabu, sound right reasoning. O guardians who brings forth from nothing, bring this lowly and nothing-like creature to the consciousness of your ever guiding presence. You have provided me with all that I need, and even have provided me with things that I don't need or don't know that I need. O guardians, you have the power to remove all the illusions from the mind. Make the pictures clear and vivid, so that I may always understand the signs that you have bestowed upon me. O guardians who put the intellect through inspiration into the hearts of all your children, accept me into the company of those pious beings who care less for their life than they do to see you pleased with their works. O guardians who are responsible for all that is and that is to come, give me the privilege to aid you in any way that you so desire. O guardians who is all compassionate and loving, know that I do love you with all the compassion and love that I have, and put nothing or no one before you in any way. O guardians who gives, know that I am willing to give all of me in your services as your child in Nuabu, so that I may carry out your word of truth to all who have an ear to listen. O guardians who made intellect possible that makes teachers and students, choose for me the position you wish. Don't leave me to make the decision on my own. Make me the student of a great teacher, of great students, as you will, not of my will. O guardians who has showered all with abundance, know that I want so much in my heart to appreciate all your gifts, that I never want to doubt or question any of your favors. Know that I always, as long as you give me the strength and power, bow when I make supplications to you. O guardians who give life and causes us to transcend this realm to eternal life, please make me worthy through my actions, my deeds, and my practices in this life to be with you. When its time expires and its eternal abode begins, let me be worthy to enter into it. O guardians who put the separation between the shadow hour period and day, and who made the shadow hour period to overcome the day, and the day to overcome the shadow hour, who makes the sun shine and the moon reflect the sun's light at the same time, yet never disturb each other, and the stars, other suns, to appear while they are there and never disturb each other. Give me the capacity to dwell amongst those whose interests and wants are different from mine, yet never disturb each other. O guardian who humbles the leaves and the vegetation when the season changes, and who brings forth the sun's light and renourishes them so that they may regrow, make me able to bow humbly before you and stand up erect and proud in your gleaming black light of wisdom as your humble child, so that I may carry on the work that you wish for mortals in this abode. O guardians, you have the power to neutralize all things. Give me neutral intellect so that I may be able to exist among others and not have to be right all the time. O guardians, who have made me an individual with many intellects passing through at all times to share with these mortals those gifts, make me worthy of them. Make me humble so that I may never become proud and arrogant or feel that I am in any way better than those whom you sent me to. If I do, bring a tear to my eye and let it glisten so that I may see in it the mercy of those who ask for your forgiveness 1,000,000 times every second as I do. Oh, forgiver, forgive me. Amen.
Amen. I appreciate that, beloved. On that note, I like to say to all those beings listening and or not, we send our love and most humble apology to any being, that has been affected and or person that I've ever hurt, in the way of the Most High. And I ask the Most High, to please forgive me in the sight of everybody for any being that I may have hurt. Because it's not my intention. We just want to do the work of the Most High. You follow? And I think all of us have that in common. And now, it's our duty. And, so we all can benefit from that. Beloved, I appreciate that reading. That was beautiful. Okay, beloved, do we have any calls going on right now?
Yes, we do have one person with their hand up. Would you like to open the lines?
Yes, please. What's the number?
The
706 number?
Yes.
Okay. All right, let them in, please. Thank you.
All right. Call 706-351. You're on the air.
Hotel. Hotel, can you hear me?
Yes.
Hotel, can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Can you hear us?
All right. How's everybody this shadow period?
Doing pretty good, beloved. What you got?
Yeah, we must have a delay on the phone. You know how they do, but we're going to keep this going. I basically just, like for you to, if you can go into explaining the language of Nuwapu, which is called Nuwapic. There's a lot of misconceptions and distortions going around. You have people saying that certain words that are used are there to generate 6 ether forces now, and this is one of the reasons why it's changing again. You have certain people saying that it's not an original or authentic language. So I just want to know if you could shed some light on that. And my second question would be for you to expound on what are called the Tarhites. So if you could do it in the Nuwapic language and the Tarhites, I would appreciate that.
Okay. Thank you, beloved, for your question. Okay, we'll do our best. If you have your holy tablets, I would ask you, while we're speaking, if you could prepare simply by getting chapter 6, tablet 11, right? If you could get that and let us know when you have it, right, that would be a beautiful thing. And for now, we'll do our best. As pointed out to us by Dr. Malachi York, first and foremost, the word Nuwapic, like Nuwap, and I don't mean doo-wop, because, they came out a long time ago in the 60s with something called doo-wop. And I'm saying that to put light on it for a reason, because he's, in the 60s and the 30s and 40s and 50s, when everybody was on the street corner drinking Wild Irish Rose and Thunderbird, as in Chief Black Thunderbird Eagle. You see what I'm saying? All of that was a reason, like doo-wop. But now that we got something new, it's a new wop. I just want to put a spin on it. Either way, the truth of the matter is, beloved, the master pointed out that every language on this planet wherein Nubian people speak, whether now or whether then, right, by right, it is Nuwapic, meaning it's a Nubian language. If you go to what you're calling Uganda, right, meaning Uganda, Africa, right, according to the National Geography, watch, October 1987 issue, right, a paleontologist, meaning a pale paleontologist, a pale man by the name of Chris Stringer, right, admitted by virtue of his findings and or confessed that he saw that the oldest people on the planet, right, came out of Uganda, Africa. He says in the article, right, they date back 20.6 million years ago. And he refers to them as Monotopithecus bishati, right, meaning the noble Moors, coming from the French word Moor. Can I be heard?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so it's coming from the French word Moor, as in Moreno. And what happens is these beings, right, he admits, people, meaning P-E-O-P-L-E-D, peopled the entire planet from that point, meaning Uganda. And listen, migrated throughout the entire globe. You follow? And essentially you find, reality of this throughout the planet, like, in other words, Cameray, Sumer, he was all one genetic stock. Now, certain beings, right, let me just say this, right, and essentially in time, they became known as Nubans. The word Nuban is an ancient Nuban word. I say Nuban and not Arabic for a reason. Because first off, as pointed out to us by the master teacher, Dr. Malachi York, all of the languages, right, when we first started speaking, right, we didn't call it anything. He said, we just spoke a language. And in order to speak a language, you have to have a tongue. You follow what I'm saying? So that's the reason why they call them tongues. But it was just the way we spoke. We didn't say, hey, I'm speaking Arabic, I'm speaking Hebrew, I'm speaking, ancient Nubian. Right? It wasn't until a long time later that scholars, right, started to, label and give names to different languages, depending on where people were, which is all part of a spell, too, again, which is why they're calling that original place that was really Nubia or Nuwapia, right? And they're now calling it Africa, meaning Faraka, to split something and or break it up. which the master explained many a time, which is why you see people in Sierra Leone speaking a different language than the people over here and over there, because there were many different type of influences. In a class in 1993, the master teacher, Dr. Al-Tazi, pointed out that there were millions and millions of type of beings evolving from the seed. So he said, you all will get caught. He said, we, meaning you all now, but us, we will get caught in trying to figure out who was first on the planet, because there were many, many different beings who came here. And every being, whether they extraterrestrial beings from Sirius A, whether they came from Sirius B, whether they came from Canis Major, like the Duanis, whether they came from the Shaman star constellation, right, as if you were Kiros, right? Every being came with a different language. You follow that? So the most dominant being were the Melaninites, the original Melanite beings, and we did speak a language, a very divine language, and we communicated it. And if you label it today, they'll say the oldest language was cuneiform. I'm going somewhere. Cuneiform means a Latin word meaning wedges. You follow? But that's not what it was either, because they'll say that come out of Sumer. You follow what I'm saying? So I'm painting something for you here. So the truth of the matter is, every language that we spoke as Nubian people, by right, should be referred to as Nubic. And, or, with a little grammar, you can say Nuwabian, or Nuwabic. Some would say Wu Nuwupu, which is nothing but an Ethiopian or Habassian or Kushite, right, interpretation and or expression of the same thing. As long as you know that you're talking about black people, niggers. Niggers speaking the language a long time ago. Can I be heard?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yes, please.
Okay, beautiful. So I'm just, we're setting the tone in the manner by which the master gave it. Because essentially, if you go by the Bible, right, it took on different names. And hold on one second. Hey, Arun, if anything happens with this, could you pick it up? Because I didn't even know my phone wasn't even plugged in.
No, you've been constant.
I'm fine. Yeah, I just found the outlet. I didn't even know I was talking about. Okay, cool. So now, in reference to the language of what they're calling the Wapi, if they were to go back first, let me explain. Before it was called the Wapi, the language, it was called Nubic. When and why? Well, when was 1989, 90, and 91. Within that period, Dr. Malachi York, then known as Rabboni Yeshua Bar Hadi, right, started introducing to us what he refers to as Nubic. Why? He said we needed our own language. You follow, the Chinese spoke Chinese, right? The Japanese spoke Japan. But what language, listen, and even the Spanish spoke Spanish. But what language belonged to us as a people, meaning a Nubian people? First off, he had to give us an identity, and culture, and a language, which is what he did. The identity that he first said was Nubian, which is nothing but a grammatical expression of the ancient word Nubian. Keep in mind, the white man confesses that these are the original people that came out of Uganda in the first place. And by the time we as the original people came from Uganda, got a name, right, they refer to us, they refer to us as Nubans. And the word Nuban, N-U-B-U-N-S, right, has the root in it, really brown, Nuban, a color inclining to black. You follow that? That's what we started saying. Well, we're not really black, we're brown. And we changed the flag of the Mahdi, alayhi salatu wa salam, from, black, red and green to brown, red and green with the hula sign in the middle. And many of you who are new may not remember that, but for those who are listening can remember. And that was our flag. You know what I'm saying? No disrespect to the Mahdi, alayhi salatu wa salam, but we had our own flag to identify that we are the Nubian nation. And that represents all of what you call an African today. Even though Nubian was just a word that was, that we could identify with, that would take us back to the Sudan, or Nubia. But the whole continent is, and should be referred to as Nuwapia. You follow, the kingdom of Nuwapia, because that's who we are. We are Nuwapians by race. You follow, genetically. You understand? And that's what the being, it wasn't a religion. It wasn't about a group of niggas in Edison and or Athens. You know what I mean? Like, we got a monopoly on the word. It's referring to all Nubian people. Now, so what we did, by way of Dr. Malachi York, is took the language of Nubic, which is nothing but a mixture of Arabic and Hebrew, a combination, combined nation, meaning combining the language that Ishmael Salam spoke, and Isaac spoke, meaning from the Bible. Because we were going into, again, what we refer to as the 19 weeks of classes, which is dealing with the Nubian Hebrew faith, meaning we moved from Nubian Islamic Hebrews to Nubian Hebrews. Can I still be heard?
Yes.
Okay. So we moved into what they call Nubian Islamic Hebrews, and then we introduced it. Okay. So it was a combination of Arabic and Hebrew, and instead of saying words like Naam, which is the Arabic way of saying yes, we started saying Aywa, which became the Nubic way of saying it. And then with Aywa defines its rudiment and certain dialects of Arabic. You follow? But we grafted into Nubic for a reason. Watch. Then we started saying Cain, right, which means approved. When you say, like, would you like to go to the store? Cain. You know what I mean? That means approved. Well, the word Na'am also means approved too, but they translate it as yes. I'm making a point, right? He started, in other words, he's a master chef inside of a kitchen, right? Curing a condition. And I wish black devils would understand what the man came to do was shut up, because they don't know what they're talking about. Because they themselves didn't bring a language, anything defined that for people. There's just a bunch of side busters sitting around talking now about what they're not going to do, but will attack anything but. Why really be trying to fact that they ain't got nothing to do anyway? So, you know what I mean? And so, anyway, instead of saying, listen, Ismi, what is your name? We started saying, Ismik Shinu. Right? What is your name? Right? And let us go to the store. It felt good. It was our language. He formulated it, right? It was unique, and it was Nubic, and it was great. We had our own camisas, we had a kafnu, we had a garden, man. It was beautiful. We were unified, nigga. It was great. Then we moved into right knowledge. Right, like we explained last week, from 1992 to 1995, a 3-year period, right, where he says, right, destroy the tabernacle, meaning HDM, I will rebuild it in 3 years, 1995. We did that through the card series, the price series, and right knowledge. Okay. Now, getting to the teacher's edition before we get to your next question, right? Eventually, we came out with a teacher's edition, and we no longer call it Nubic, we call it Nuwapic. And keep in mind that if you go and try to do a research on the word Nuwapic, right, or Nuwapo, right, the closest thing they say is Wunuwupu, or they say Nupu, some say Nupi, and they talk about an Ethiopian situation coming from Abbasia. Another story. But the master came out with a teacher's guide. Now listen, in the teacher's guide, the first one, it didn't have 2 languages, meaning Arabic and Hebrew. He added 4 more, right, Chaldean, Akkadian, Egyptian, and there was another one that always slipped my tongue, slipped my mind. Right? And what he was doing was embracing all languages where on the planet and Nubians recite. And the problem is everybody's always waiting on Pop to do something. Well, he gave us a formula. It's called Nuwapic. You take any word and Nuwapic, because the entire planet belongs to us. And that's why we ask you to read Holy Tablet, chapter 6, chapter 11. Can I be heard?
You said, chapter 6, chapter what?
Okay, chapter 6, chapter 11. Right. He said, so do you have it?
Yeah, I got it.
Could you please read it?
You want to start at the first verse?
Please.
Okay, it says, lo, this is tablet 11, the identification. It says, lo, I am the 7th star which Anu, Aliyun El, holds in his right hand. I drink of the same cup as he. Anu gave me the right to the staff and the crown. I am the bell of life, the truth, I sound. Fear not things which ye shall suffer. For if you know, and you have faith in the facts beyond any doubt, you shall receive the crown of life. I am the bell of life, the truth will sound. Give me evil, and I'll turn it good. I'll even change 6.
Right there.
Right.
Right there, beloved. What verse was that?
That's verse 4.
Okay. He says, give me evil. I will turn it good. And that is a process. Because the question then becomes, right, can the devil be reformed? And the other said, no, not nowadays. But Bob says, no, you can't do it. Only God can do it. And we'll get into that in a moment, because it is an ongoing process of purging and converging, and it takes fire. Remember, the master teacher, Dr. Malachi York, refers to something called inflammation. I'm not talking about a fire demonstration. I'm talking about an inflammation, inflamed, meaning we would have to be inflamed, beloved, and that flame is lit from the inside. You follow what I'm saying? And it's a solar green disc, and it's the means by which we are purged. Something that he taught about called the light in you. You follow that? And that's what it's like. But I pointed that out in reference to taking that which is evil and making it good, because any language on the planet, I don't care if it's Swahili, because Swahili is a mixture of Arabic, and Igbo. And what they did was, meaning the Arabs, the fake Arabs, meaning the pale Arabs, along with Jews, right, bred a new language. You see, another language called Swahili, right, for the slave trade, meaning a language for the slaves to speak. You follow what I'm saying? That's why Negroes today be naming their kids Moesha and Tatisha and Lavinisha and we all these names. Demani Dada, right? Them are not ancient names. Those are not pure. That's, the devil created that language specifically for niggas, and he called it Zinj, A-I-N-G, right? Zinji, meaning nigga, which is the very reason why that they refer to as the oldest bones from Ethiopia, 2.4 million years, they call it Zinj, which means nigga. So they got their own little inside jokes, But the point I'm making is Swahili is a language now. And, it exists. And even though the rudiment and the intention was evil, you know what I'm saying, we should, I personally, and I know I speak for all those who truly love truth, love the Most High, right, and love the master teacher, Dr. Malachi York, and what he stood for, right, and what he represents, which is taking that which is dirty and making it clean, taking that which is evil and making it good. Well, it was the evil intention that the devil did when they prayed the Swahili neighbors in the first place. Would you agree? Okay, so now, what is the Swahilian word for thank you? It is Ashanti. Well, how would you Nawabicize that? You would say Ushuntu. Yeah, I know that's not in the Nawabi book, niggas. You know what I'm saying? I'm not you, baby brother. I'm just saying to those who are listening. Right? That's because you didn't understand what Pop was doing. He said, I can't do all this by myself. I set it off. I started off with 2 languages. Now it's 6. By now it should be 90 languages that have been Nawabicized. And the only reason why black devils are saying, it's an unstable language, is because they themselves are unstable, being confused, meaning seated by a strong command. You don't know what the hell he's talking about, because they are the devil themselves. And I'm going to tell you why. Because I'm not talking about the beings who are sincere. Right? They don't understand why we say Nuwapo and Nuwabu in the first place. You follow that? Because we are embracing everything. Meaning, Dr. Malachi York had to make us, familiar with every language our people speak on the planet, even Spanish. Hell, shit, the Spanish word for pardoname, and don't know shit, nigga, in the Wapic is purduni. How about that? Purduni. Why not? Because, that's embracing, nigga, we use in the week in the Wapicide every language on this planet. You follow? And you listen to that. Unite their tongue, like it said in the book of Genealogy, chapter 11. You follow? Meaning even, to make it even, Because Nimrod had a plan, and a lot of his certain beings didn't like it. They said, let's go out there and mess up the language. Well, now you got different dialects on the planet. And listen to me. English means belonging to the Anglo-Saxons. It's an evil language, right? Not no more. Nigga, we touch it, we make it good. If you don't like it, then don't, listen, they don't say you are Nawapian. Because everybody likes being Nawapian up until it's time to use some divine principles called alchemy, conversion. Got you heard?
Yes.
Am I heard? Okay.
Yeah,
because, again, the master teacher, Dr. Malachi York, said, I take that which is evil and turn it good. Why? Because as he explained to us in 1997, on a CD called Leave My Stuff Alone, right, he says, I am the son of righteousness. I take that which is wrong and make it right. So now, nigga, English is no object too. Any language that niggas speak, Nubians speak on the planet, nigga, we can transform. If you don't like it, then shut up. Not you, baby brother. I'm talking to the Negroes that I can perceive their energy now. Yeah, you know what I mean? That are listening. That's right, because they work for the devil anyway. You follow? And their purpose is to attack what is good. Now, as far as this Medu Nature, the word Medu means force. Nature means nature. Right? We just explain. And if they look on, first off, when these so-called Egyptologists or Kemetic people are talking about Egypt, they're talking about things that occurred in the last 46 dynasties, right? And what they speak about the most was only 19 acres of land, right? Egypt was no bigger than what you all saw on Tamaray. You follow that? I'm talking about what they're bragging and boasting about on Discovery Channel now. You follow? You know what I mean? I'm talking about that little area, one district, one zone is all it was. See, but they say 46 dynasties, meaning 46 families and many different sub-families and sub-sectors. So when you say Egypt, like Dr. Malachi said on the Elohim Part 2 today, you are opening up Pandora's box. That's why he said Dr. Ben and Dr. Clark, these are demons. You know what I mean? They're taking my people away, he said, from the reality that we are not. Listen, that word Egypt doesn't really apply to us. We are Tamarayans. See, when we said Tamaray, that was the first of many checkmates. Meaning, checkmate, homeboy, because it's Ta, Ma, and Ray. Tamaray. And that's a new word because it represents the blackened sun, taking you in the Neolithic era. Why do they call the era before the first dynasty of Menes and Narmer and them? Because why do they call that era, listen, the Neolithic era, meaning Neolithic, meaning a new light, I see. Because the new light was the black light. And it was so advanced, you couldn't say it was, listen, like the master teacher, Dr. Malachi said, right? If you look around at all the advancements, the modern advancements and accomplishments of Western sciences in the Western world and the Eastern world today, right, you can say they are genius. I'm talking about great accomplishments, but they are savage compared to what we did in Tamaray and or Atlantis. I mean, you're talking about pure savagery. The cars got all in it that pollute the air. Well, we were able to travel from point to point. Now, back to your question in reference to telepathy, right? Meaning you asked about the Paphites, right? Are you there, beloved?
About the Tahites, yes.
Okay, let's talk about the Tahites. And notice I said telepathy. Because when you say Ta, first off, there's a letter P there. And so they love to put the P there in first. Why? Because the Greeks understood that there, somewhere along the lines, was a definite article that was pronounced as Ta. The same way you say Pa, Nitir. So instead of saying Ta, they just said P. They put the P there. And in most cases, they make it silent. Why? Because like the master teacher, Dr. Malachi explained years ago, right? They're doing it today. They got a lot of words in the English language, right, that has P's and T's in it that if we don't pronounce, he told us, if we don't make sure our children pronounce, that they can cast spells on you that you don't even know nothing about. Like, in other words, niggas think they fly when they say, what you doing? It's not nothing. It's nothing. No thing. So I'm saying, listen, right? If you're going to speak the language, then speak it properly, is what he would say. I know it feels good to speak slang, but he said they're going to be programming certain frequencies and signals and certain television messages, and you won't be able to hear it because your brain was shut down and not able to receive particular transmission so you can cipher it. Cipher what they're doing. It's called, Dr. Malachi taught us about breaking the spell. We say now, they're trying to break the code, Okay? So anyway, they say tithe. Listen, beloved, and they put a P in front of the Ta, meaning T-A, Tahites. Tahites, meaning Tahuti. Let me explain. Because these are original beings who came, check this out, from the water. And they say they were called Tahites. He found that's another name, also called Pygmy, meaning elbow to the knuckle. Well, and they also called El Elo, meaning the Elites. That's a particular supreme beings that came from Pleiades too. Right? Because in other words, we come from all over the universe to get here. Right? So, again, these are the original beings that they call Monocapiscus, Pushapi, or Nubans, but they were also called Tahites. Now, why do they call them Tahites? Well, let us explain. If you read the Black Book, and if you are a diligent inquirer and sincere, then you should be up on your Ashutat. I heard a sister tell me the other day, she said, Pa Natur said, we shouldn't do Ashutat because the Anunnaki, are not pleased with us. And, the Anunnaki, we don't come from the Anunnaki, and those are Caucasians, excuse me. If the Anunnaki are not pleased with us, then why, first of all, if they're Caucasian Anunnaki, why are we worried about whether or not they please with us? And what's the listen, in the Ashkat system, it's Natiru. Right? I know they say Natiru, meaning the Arabic word. Right? If I tell the brother Harun, I say, yeah, Nadur. I mean, oh, look. He said, well, that means watchers. Okay, fine, cool. You understand? However, if you up on your Ashkat, meaning prayer, which is Ethic prayer, lining up and linking up with your ancestors. Remember, Pop said, I don't give a damn what they say. In 1999, he said, you all stick to AEO. I don't give a damn what they say. That's what he said. And so, listen, meaning, hey, you can fool some people sometimes, but you can't fool other people all the time. Now we see the light. Stand up for the right. Come on now. Get up, stand up. Stand up for the right. You feel me? So, anyway, is a constant companion of who, and hip-hop. And listen, if recited properly in tones, let me tell you something. Those three names right there can produce some very dynamic results. Developed by the species or one of poets. We can do it again. But anyway, Paul, they say, is a constant companion of who, he, which is masculine and feminine energy, the creative divine love. You follow? Because in the etheric realm, there is no male and female. Right? It's masculine and feminine energy. Okay? So who, he, watch, Sia, the personification of miracles, and Hika, the personification of magic. Okay? So this is a triad that Ta, who is Ta? Well, Ta is one of the thrones. What is a throne? Well, a throne is a being who exists outside of your time zone and outside of this dimension. And these beings, right, are beyond the human being's kind of imagination right now until you realize that all of the deities exist in your mind. Well, these beings can, listen, come in and out, as Dr. Malachi pointed out, in and out of our plane of existence without interfering with interdimensional time laws, etc. And they do intercede. They do intercede on our behalf. Okay? Well, Tom, right, they say is the opener. As an open, no, it's open ray. Because in the English language, they put at the end of word. You follow? But it should be ray. Why do I say that? Because means a mistake. When you read the book of genealogy, praise God, chapter 38, right, it literally says that there was a being by the name of Judah, Yahudah, which is where you get the word Mahdi from. Well, this being Judah had children, and one of the children's name was Again, spelled E-R. And they say that this nigga was so disrespectful, he was so evil, he would go to the temples and just cause all type of problems. Just in the temple, you know what I mean, everybody's trying to make prayers, knocking on the door. This nigga was just terrible. You can tell he was going to be terrible by his name. Mistake. They said it was so bad that the Lord himself, Yahweh, they say, had to come and slay him. That's how bad he was. They came and took the sword and just came out of nowhere. We got to get rid of this one. So ain't good enough. As in Chaldea, you know what I mean, the fire of demons. So it's not, you know what I mean, it's open ray. Meaning the full mighty pen of ray. Because power is the opener. Open ray. And the truth of the matter is when you speak in reference to Ta, right, you're talking about a being that is also in tune with Tahuti. Now, Tahuti, right, is the god of utterance. Because, and remember, who is the personification of utterance. We'll talk about it another time. But Tahuti was known first for tones. You follow that? Tones, as in ATUN-RE. You follow the tone carrier. You see? And that's why when you actual tag, when you look at the 99 Cameroonian names, you see that the 55th name is ATUN-RE. And the 56th name is Tahuti. Think it's a coincidence that today the little brother ATUN-RE, you found said, a constant companion of Tahuti? And how I know? Because I was introduced to Tahuti, the father of OSOICE, who is ATUN-RE, meaning the Father of God, the Godfather of Ra-Re, soul. Like a sex machine, man, doing it. Either way. So, first off, there were tones which produced tonations. There was no language. Everything moved and vibrated in tones, which is why Dr. Malachi D. York says in the Holy Tablets that we will never have an understanding until we learn to move in tones. You say, well, why is it that Anu is said in tones and Allah and El Elo is spoken in rhythm? Nobody ever asked that question. There's a difference between tone and rhythm. And as a little brother pointed out to me, rhythm, tone, and content, RTC. What you're listening for when you're listening to a being speak. You're listening to and you can feel. It don't matter what a person says, you can feel where they're coming from. I love you. That's not what I feel, though. I don't feel that love coming from you. I hear you, but I don't feel it. And maybe, okay, you know what I'm saying? Well, maybe I got to readjust myself. Maybe I'm omitting some hate. There's a constant person. See, a Muslim, meaning one of these, is never satisfied with his or her state. Because if you see something in one person, the first thing we do is look inside ourselves to make sure that very thing is not in there. So we all got a lot of work to do. This is on-the-job person, and in a real way, we are running behind schedule. And so, what happens is, before there was language, there was telepathic communication. Okay? Who did that? The Paphites. We didn't need our tongue. We were communicating mind to mind. Mind to mind is why you say telepath. Because that's why some people started pronouncing the word car, P-T-A-H, as path. Like stay on the right path. Well, you got to get back in tongues, which is the very reason why. Dr. Malachi D. York said, beloved, that he himself is introducing a language of tones. Now, to start off grammar, many people think that Rahub is something new. It's not. How do I know? How do you know? Because, I called Dr. Malachi D. York myself while on 380 Edgewood Avenue, living in the community, and dialed the sisters, the office, to let them know about a particular thing that I was working on, and talking to the phone. And the first thing he said was Rahub. And why did he say Rahub? Because he said Rahub. Essentially, he said we will remove all the grammar from our language, and we'll only be speaking in tones again. What does that mean? Mind to mind. See, when you look at cartoons and you saw, the dolphin communicating with the Aquaman and all of them, you saw waves. They were sending frequency waves from the damn dolphin, to the Aquaman and them. Right? And Aquaman and them, that was nothing but Ashtar Command underwater, like Submarine Man, and But we were fascinated by it. But then, so when you see in reference to path or tar, it's not talking about tar in the now, the mother of Eve, the father of mother, father, I'm not talking about that. That is a physical being. That is not the etheric entity known as tar, who is a resonating frequency. Okay? So that's why we say in Ashitat, Yah Fatuhat, Yah Nikid, it's our opener, because we're trying to, open something inside again. Meaning, like a Tylenol capsule, you break it open and you see the powder. Well, inside of our DNA, there's an etheric resonating frequency that has to be a total alignment, which is why he says it's the alignment of full root. Also, that's the reason why the doors of AEO had to resurrect higher than before. Meaning, we're going to start doing things like gods again. And I don't mean building a pyramid like Vegas and or Reynolds-Town. Pop only did that as an example. He set it up for it to fail so that his children, meaning all of you who are listening right now, can do it for real. Right? But you got to get your memory restored. Because like the little brother ATUN-RE said, we're going to be building real pyramids this time. Oh, yeah. Meaning something else all over the place. They say, well, I thought the pyramids was never created with stone. Yeah, that's fake, left, go right. Well, why do we do that? The same reason why we built those out of stone. We want to see how many niggas will gravitate towards stone and start running their mouth about what they don't know. Because the Rosetta Stone was only in place to confuse invading dynasties.
Absolutely.
The secrets of the pyramids. Okay, what you got?
All right, we got 4 minutes remaining. Anybody who would like to continue to listen to the show after our airtime is over, please call in at 347-237-4318 or join us again every Monday and Thursday for the Two Volcanoes show at 9 p.m.
Okay, I appreciate that, brother. Thank you. Do we have any other callers with their hands up?
Not at this time, no.
Anybody who's listening, you might want to call in and put your hand up now, because if we start streaming, meaning going up the stream, you know what I mean, you're not going to be able to hear, right? But, you know what I mean? So if you want to do it, that's cool. If not, you know, that's cool too. Okay, Josh, are you still there?
Yeah.
Okay, did we answer your question?
Yeah, thank you.
You're very welcome, and we appreciate you asking the question. Well, now, Eric, Haroon, do we have any how many callers we got on the switchboard right now?
It's only going to show me 6, and all of those slots are filled. Okay, we do have another hand up.
Well,
we do have another hand up.
I'm sorry,
What's that?
Did you say something?
Yes, I said we have another hand up.
Okay, bring it in.
All right. Caller 864-787. You're on the air.
Yeah, Hotep.
Hotep, you love it.
Yeah, I want to know, you know what I'm saying, what a deity in the Holy Tablet is still alive, like Anu and Enki and Enlil and Mother Ninti, whether they're still alive to this day, and when they die, you know what I'm saying, do the Anunnakis mourn them like we mourn our dead?
Okay, I don't think I understood the last part. Say the last part of your question again, beloved.
No, I said, and if, you know what I'm saying, if they do die, you know what I'm saying, do the Anunnakis mourn them the same way that we mourn, you know what I'm saying, our family members when they die?
Okay, keep in mind that the master teacher, Dr. Malachi Z, pointed out years ago that these beings, namely Riskian, and not all of the ones you just mentioned are Riskian, right, found a cure for what you're calling death hundreds and thousands of years ago, meaning they're hundreds and thousands of years more advanced than we are here today. So what you're calling death is, in other words, it doesn't exist in the realm of immortal beings. Like I'm saying, like in other words, our understanding of death and the fear of it and the finality of it all is totally different, because all of us are immortal. It's just a matter of you remembering that. That's why there's a DVD that Pop has is referred to as Is There Life After Death? Not the book, but a DVD, a CD. Right? And on it, he explains how, and in it, beloved, he explains how, you know, he said, don't be surprised that if human beings advance to the point where you can, use, call your loved one that has already passed on by dialing a particular number. He said 777. And there's a reason why he said that, and we'll talk about that at a later time. But no, the truth of the matter is these beings that you speak in reference to are immortal. In other words, they change form. If I was saying, because energy beings cannot be destroyed, they can only change. They can only change in their form or composition. So when you speak in reference to a being like Anu that you're focusing on, you're talking about a being who's already raised in the ranks a long time ago, meaning already being initiated as an Igigi and even raised higher and higher and higher and higher. You see what I'm saying? That's why we say in the Holy Tablets, Yahum, 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 Antum, Malafi, Al-Qadum, which simply means, obey, obey, O Allahum. You are all in the all, which simply means no matter how high you go up the ladder, you'll always be in the all. So what they do is change their form. You see what I'm saying? And what is considered death here? What is considered death here, right, for divine beings and or immoral beings is only made to look that way, right? A good example is in the book of Revelation, chapter 11. You follow what I'm saying? Where they said, people were marveled after the two witnesses. And everybody was happy that the two witnesses were killed and all this, and then all of a sudden they saw them coming out of the sky. The same way certain people tried to assassinate Dr. Malachi York in the year 2001. You follow? Which everybody heard a brief report over the internet. Dr. Malachi York was killed. Is what they tried to say. Dr. Malachi York was dead. Is what they said. And maybe, a lot of people may not remember. It was a quick news flash, email flash that came out. You know what I mean? And Dr. York would say, I'm a healthy man. My health went right up from under me. He said, and all of a sudden, he had a stroke. Meaning, somehow, some way, a stroke was induced. And he was taking natural herbs. Somebody knew something, about, chemistry. Somebody around him during that time understood chemistry and wanted to make it look like an accident. So they, snuck some type of drug chemical, inside of his, supply, which caused him to have a stroke. And literally, he says, he dropped dead. Again, while dead, he said, the lights went out, and a voice in his own soul said, this is what it must be like to die. You follow? Are you with me, 864?
Yes, sir, I'm right here.
Okay. He said, this is what it must be like to die. He said, gold light flashed in, same light that I saw before I met and reconnected with ATUN-RE, the real Messiah, the little brother. And he said, a hand reached in and pulled him out. Same thing happened to me in 1996 in an experience, soaring the heavens with the Master. For those who can relate, please do. And he reached in and grabbed my hand. A hand reached in and pulled him out, he said. And said that the hand that pulled him out was Jesus, but I'm going somewhere. And Jesus gave him instructions that y'all fella, we ain't finished you. Go back and tell those Nawapians that I'm real. You know what I'm saying? That is, if they want to live. So the very being that many of you hate and reject, my brother, ATUN-RE, his name is ATUN-RE The Real Messiah. The very being that you all hate is the very being who saved Dr. York's life. You follow what I'm saying? In a real way. How do I know? Because he saved my life and he saved the sister's ISIS's life. You follow what I'm saying? Alchemically. Because, you got to understand, in my father's house, there are many mansions, meaning many dimensions. And you have to understand how to work into dimensions. Really behind the fact that many of us will first have to admit that we don't know nothing. Because the wise man knows he knows nothing at all, And I get first to say I don't know nothing. Because the moment you say, I know that. Okay, good. Then all of the galactic heaven will shut up and you won't hear, you won't get nothing else. Because you know everything. So I just say, nigga, be like a child again. Transform, reform. That's what he said. So, to answer to the question, look at, you come about Ando Hill or Ike. And like Pop said, you know him, you met him? Well then, if you don't know him and you met him, then you're still in belief. So look at right now. You know Malachi. Whether you refer to him as Enmerguk, Gal, and all the fancy names, you knew him, you saw him. And this is what he said. He was dead and resurrected. He said, and the being who resurrected him is Jesus. You follow that? You know what I mean? He didn't say Yeshua. He didn't say Isa. He said Jesus. Why? If you don't like the word, they say, well, isn't that a 16th? Oh, yeah, for all the niggas say, that's 16th or shit. Nigga, we take that which is evil and make it good. It don't matter what it is. How about that one? Tell them we say that. If they don't like it, then too bad. We're going to spit nigga. We won't be able to stop the Phoenix from rising. Nigga, we too late, nigga. So we won before we took step one. That's it. That's all. Now, in reference to it, when Dr. Malachi York woke up or came through, he said he saw Dr. Thompson standing there, my beloved brother-in-law. I called Dr. Thompson myself. I heard some shit like that. I want to know what's going on, which all of y'all should have called at that time. And I said, beloved brother-in-law, mind, what happened? He said he was minding his own business in the house. He said, all the hotels and council knocked on the door. And when they knocked on the door, they said, I'm sorry, man, there's an emergency. Oh, yeah? Dr. Thompson gets up, find out what's going on, and for all the good purposes, Pop was clinically dead. And he said, Kathy and Lutman was sitting right there to the left. Now, keep that in mind. Pop woke up, he said, I know I'm in good hands because he saw Dr. Thompson there. Well, that's good because Dr. Thompson is Pop's personal doctor. I trust him. You know what I'm saying? So I feel good to know that Papa, you know what I mean? That I saw somebody that that was there, that had his back, and pull him out of that. And that's a good thing. And Doc, if you're listening, I love you, nigga, for that. But the truth of the matter is, you know what I mean? That ain't gonna go unnoticed. Whoever you are that's listening to my voice and think we don't know. And if you ask for forgiveness and or repent, then the elders would, you know what I mean, show you a mercy. You know what I'm saying?
That's money.
Because in a real way, it wasn't cool. So, but it was part of the plan. Because from that point on, Dr. Malachi, the upside telling all the Milwaukeeans, he said, Jesus is real. It's yeah, he's bullshitting. He's only saying that because, you know, you got to go back downhill. You know, that's religion. But, nigga, stop breathing and see how religious you are. Because the word religion means to breathe. You don't believe me? Then read the gospel. Read, listen, means to read, union. There can be no reunion if you don't breathe, you know. Unless you breathe the water, you know what I mean, through your gills. So all that religious crap, man, listen, it's done for a reason. Because the truth of the matter is, like we said, you see, he said he saved my life. That if it's good enough for, like, give me Jesus then. Y'all don't want him, I take him. Because if he's good enough for Pop, he's good enough for me. Which are good, follow the Lamb, whither shall he go? Up until he says something you don't want to hear. Why? Because intellectual pride keeps you from loving and living and giving. There was another brother that was like that. His name was Iblis. Yeah, he sat in the 24th seat. And he had a problem with protocol, too, you know. Because he had a good point. A lot of niggas believe him. You know, I don't think we should bow to Adam. I disagree with that. Because, listen, I was good before Adam. So why should I bow down to him? I'm older than him. You know what I mean? The elders have told me that. They told me I'm older than you. I know more than you. Okay, fine. You probably do. I don't care. All I'm saying is, you know what I mean? Let's do what Fox say. Well, we don't have to no more. He ain't here. Oh, okay, I see now. God was only doing what he said because he was right in front of you. I understand. He is the Houthi. He is the master, you know, mind, and still is. Because there are those who say, you know, Papa, you know, he ain't in control no more. Man, Papa is controlling the beings who think they're in control. And under lie they tell us, you know, Papa's controlling that too. You know what I'm saying? Oh, yeah. See, that's the Houthi, 720. They haven't even figured out 360 yet. How do you think you're going to figure out the other half of the circle? I mean, the other part of the equation. 720. Yeah, I mean, and it goes to 14, but it keeps going all the way up. They still messing with that. You know what I'm saying? And let me clear something up. Right? If the brother Harun, if you're still there, beloved, would you read the, what do you call that thing? The description? Oh, first of all, beloved, 864, do you have any more questions?
Yes, I want to know, you know what I'm saying, where did the pictures in the holy tablets come from?
Excuse me, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Where did the pictures, yeah, I hear you. Where did the pictures in the holy tablet come from?
Right, you know, I mean, are they like real descriptions of what they look like?
The brother ATUN-RE is on the phone.
Okay, I'm going to let you in a minute. Yeah. Okay, let me answer this question. Well, now you want to do it ATUN-RE, you got it?
Listen, I'm sitting and actually, I would say about, if I had to judge it on a scale of 1 to 10 in terms of how much I was, because I'm preoccupied doing what I have to see to it that everybody's safe, you know, because you have some people and or beings who have been doing what they can to, for lack of a better way to put it, to see, with these waves that you all are utilizing right now to cast this show, it's called radio waves, without question, governed by the FCC. And alchemists can, if you pick up a phone, say for instance you're on the phone and you call me, and you're an alchemist, you can ride that telephone wave right to where I am, literally. And so what they're doing is they're trying to ride you all's frequency. So I'm doing a number to them as we speak. And I'm about to tell them, and you all are going to bear witness to some things, you see, because I don't like them messing with my people. And I'm just a little tired of it. The truth of the matter is that we are some loving, beautiful beings. And the hate and the hostility that they have towards us is unjust. And the truth of the matter is that I've told many, many, many times before. I don't care how many books I write, what I say, how I teach it, what it doesn't matter. What's going to matter only is when people start dying, listen, and they need a means by which to save themselves and don't know the means. You see, that's when, at that particular time, without question, everybody will want to be my friend. And I find that I don't know how to feel about that. I feel hurt and saddened because the truth of the matter is I love you all. I wouldn't have put my life on the line in the way that I have and continue to do if indeed I didn't. Now, I know you all don't understand totally, but what I will tell you is this. Bodie, can you hear me? Okay, here's what I want you to pay attention to. Okay, you are in Covington, correct? Are you in Covington?
Yes.
Are you there? Can you hear me?
Yes, you hear me?
Please respond.
Yes.
You're in Covington, correct?
Yes, I don't really hear me. Can you?
Now I can. Now listen to me. They're working you. I'm about to tell you what's going on. And I'm getting ready to, you're gonna hear thunder and lightning because, see, Baba explained to you all about the 7 thunders. In fact, I'm going to quote him as right now so that you all know that indeed this is not a game and it's very real. Okay? So just bear with me, if you will. Follow it. It says, this is Baba's words. Now listen. I'm saying it's dark. What is it? I need a little light. I'm getting old, so you all gotta bear with me. Here we go. Wait a minute. Okay, I'm taking place right now. Boom. A lot of, let's see, let's just do this. Just pick it up. Because I'm doing more than one thing at one time. I'll just read it. And as we as a whole have to learn how to, and it's very dark, so I can't really, it's hard to see, how to pay attention to, what is this word? Can't see that. Pay attention to, what is this word? It's dark in the area where we're at, so bear with us. There's that word right there. Pay attention to things that are coming on, like Nin, Shar, what's this word? I just read from the 7th thunder. I'll read from the 7th thunder on. It's dark in here. Okay. It said we are living in a day of the 7 thunders. I hope that you pay full attention. What did I say? Go ahead, you read it. Can you read it? Your eyes are better than mine. Read it. Your full attention.
Was given to that topic because as you leave, here you are observing them happening out there. And you have to learn to prepare yourself from them. Some of you might have already experienced some of these thunders because it's a reality to us. It's obvious by the fact that the sun is so much hotter this year than any other year. That means